Hello, I'm Will. I'm here with Mike. We're the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And welcome once again to Warhammer 40k Conquest, where we have a look at this week's magazine and then play the game that comes with it. As usual, you're welcome to skip ahead to the game. There is a timestamp in the description below if you'd like to do that. But this issue, we got a pot of Celestra Grey, which is a pale grey base paint, and also a pot of Death Guard Green, having painted a Chaos Rhino with it a few issues ago. Might well be running low at this point, so makes sense, I suppose. And having a look in the issue, we've got some information about Rabute Gilliman himself, the Avenging Sun. He's running around the Imperium trying to fix everything at the moment, and indeed the Ultramarines and Death Guard fought each other. Battles of the Space Marines over time, since the end of the Horus Heresy. The Dark Angels chapter of Space Marines, the most secretive and suspicious chapter, perhaps. And then you see they're in dark green, and there's in their company colours and markings and so forth. Then we have more things about the forces of Nurgle. This is the Demon Legions, and loads more things here. The Septicus Legion. Then here we have how to add Celestra Grey to our existing models, and being a pale grey, this is used for things like the smoke on Lord Felthius's backpack apparatus. Other bits and pieces, like on the Dreadnought, there's the sort of searchlight, same with the Rhino, the headlights on it. This is more details for the Death Guard, even though we've actually had Rakov's Flesh and Agrat Shade for a very long time. It's only now telling us how to add them to the Blight Hauler and Terminators and so forth. And there they are, the Terminator models, all going back to the Poxwalkers even. Then we have Mission 15, we'll get on to that straight away.
So here's our mission for this issue. The Ultramarines, or the Silver Templars in our universe, are making a push from the northern section into the southern section, trying to push the Death Guard out of the northern hab units of the capital city, Barachias. And you've got a nice two-page spread there. So we're trying to seize the city. And as you can see here, we have our 2 deployment zones in opposite corners of the map. And then there are 4 red zones, which are objectives. For deployment, we roll off, and whoever wins the roll can choose whether they want to deploy first or second, and then we alternate setting up, and then we both roll off again, and the player who finished setting up their units adds 1 to their roll. And if you look over there at the army lists, I have 1 less unit than William does, so it probably means I'm going to get the +1 to the roll. And then whoever scores the highest on that roll can choose to take the first or second turn. At the end of the game, each of the red areas is worth 2 victory points to whoever controls it, and whoever has the most models in the area controls the area. And if a model is in 2 areas, it can only count. You have to choose which one it's actually in. It can only count for 1. Then your deployment zones. Each player gains a victory point for controlling their own deployment zone, and 3 victory points if they control the enemy deployment zone. And the game lasts for 4 battle rounds, so no victory points for destroying enemy units or first blood or anything like that. And here you can see our campaign map for the city of Barachias, and you have the victory the Silver Templars got last time. So that means I get to choose, as the winner, which territory we're going to fight over, and since this scenario is meant to be based in the Northern Hab units, I'm going to choose this spot here, which you can see is in my territory, which means I get to use my special rule. Basically, launch an orbital bombardment at Death Guard unit. So once per game, I can choose a Death Guard unit and roll a d6, and on a 4+, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. So, don't know how useful that be. There's a stratagem in the Codex which is very similar. But we'll see how it goes. We'll go into the army overviews and then get into the mission. So here's our Space Marine army. We have the Captain in Gravis armour, Lieutenant Cassius, 2 squads of 3 intercessors, 3 aggressors and 2 inceptors. And here's our Death Guard army. We have Lord Felthius returning, leading the Tainted Cohort, 2 units of 6 Poxwalkers, 2 units of 3 Plague Marines, and the Myphitic Blight Hauler at the back there. So we're rolling off to see who chooses who places as a unit first. So, I got a 3.
I got a 4. So I'm going to make you place a unit first, because I have more units than you, so you're always going to get the +1 bonus. So I might as well make you deploy a unit first.
All right, then.
The small benefit it gains me.
I'm going to deploy the Inceptors in reserve, whatever the specific name of their thing is.
Well, I'll deploy Lord Felthius in the Teleportarium, and in fact my next choice after that will be the Terminators in the Teleportarium, so you might as well deploy 2 units.
I'll deploy 2 units then. So as William just said, his second choice is going to be the Terminators, so I'm just going to deploy 2 units now. I'm going to deploy one squad here behind this cover and the second squad over here by this cover. And I'll just go over the objective zone. So I've got my deployment zone, which is everything up to the pavement. Then this area in the road is an objective. These two dark grey bits, including this bit in the middle but not the pavement, is an objective. Then over there is William's deployment zone in this dark grey bit. And then there's these two dark grey bits with the eagles is an objective. And this dark grey patch down here is an objective, but none of the light grey bits or the pavement here.
Right, my first deployment is these 6 poxwalkers here. They're all looking the wrong direction for some reason. Might fix that in a minute. Anyway, they're over here. It is actually models in objective zones that count, not units, so I could technically chain these across 2 or more.
And for my next pick, I'm going to deploy the aggressors here, so we can go either way as we need to.
My second deployment is this unit of Plague Marines over here, ready to move out behind this pipe, basically.
And for my next pick, I've deployed Lieutenant Calcis here, next to the aggressors.
My next choice is the Blight Hauler, which I'm going to put back here.
And for my final deployment, I'm going to deploy the Captain in Gravis Armour back here.
Then I finished my deployment. We've got the other unit of Plague Marines here. They're still inside the area cover, obviously. And the other unit of Poxwalkers sort of strung out there.
So now you roll off to see who chooses who gets to go first or second, and I get to add 1 to this roll. I got a 3.
And I got a 5. Well, I run the roll off, and I'm going to make Space Marines go first, because then I get a turn at the end of the game to snatch objectives. So.
Then we head into Space Marines turn 1. So first things first, the aggressors are going to advance 4 inches, so you go 9. So the aggressors have advanced, and the captain is also going to advance 3, so you can go 8 inches. Now you see the captain's moved up, and Calcius will also advance 2, getting even slower, so you can go 8 inches as well. Brings him up onto the tank track like that. So the intercessors are going to stay where they are, so I can block off my deployment zone from any teleporting terminators. And then I'm going to bring in the Inceptors this turn, and I'm going to bring them on down here, so they're in this tiny corner of area terrain, so they will get cover from that. So all of my movement over onto the shooting phase. So I'll start with the 2 Inceptors. They're going to fire at that squad of Plague Marines. They will have cover. So we have 12 shots hitting on 3s, 6 hits, and wounding on 4s, 2 wounds.
3 plus arm save, which I failed 1, and disgusting resilient passed.
Right. These characters advance, the aggressors are out of range, so it's onto the intercessors. So this squad is going to fire at that squad of Plague Marines over there. They're not in rapid fire range, so we've got 3 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, rerolling the 1, nope, 2 hits, wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s because we're near Calcius, 2 wounds.
And I'm in cover again, so back to 3 plus, made those.
And the other squad is going to fire at the same squad of Plague Marines. They're hitting on 3s, not rerolling 1s, but got 2 hits, wounding on 5s, 1 wound.
And passed that as well.
Right, so completely ineffectual shooting that round. I'm not going to declare any charges, so it's on to Death Guard, turn 1.
So first part of my movement done, these Plague Marines have moved out of cover, but they still get cover from the Blight Hauler because it's Aura of Fog.
7-inch fog or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. So that's obviously moved out as well. Then this other squad of Plague Marines have moved out here, and Poxwalkers to there. And then these Poxwalkers are going to advance, because I want to go somewhere else. So we're an extra inch, wow. Brings them over here, a bit further away from those nasty flamers. Then at the end of my movement phase, I deployed the Tainted Cohort here. They're in the area terrain. And Lord Felthius next to them. And they're also in this objective zone.
Yep.
We're on to my shooting phase. We're going to start with this squad of Plague Marines. They're going to shoot at the aggressors across the street.
Yep.
Obviously not in cover. We'll start with the Blight Launcher. 2 shots, only one of them in the unit. They both hit, wounding on 3s. They both wounded, and
5 plus armour saves because we're not in cover. Didn't make either of them.
D3 damage on the first. Only one, so just kill one guy.
One aggressor dies. This one.
The Champion's Plasma Gun, I'm not going to supercharge. Okay, and...
Go on, Bayonet. 2 6 plus armour saves. No, so another aggressor goes down. Take away that one.
And then finally the bolt gun. 1 hit, wound on a 5. No. We'll go over to the second Plague Marine squad. They're going to shoot the Inceptors, who at least will be in cover. So the Blight Launcher misses.
Phew.
And the Plasma Gun, again, not supercharging. 2 hits, wounding on 3s. 2 wounds, but you've got cover, so...
5+ armour saves. Okay, so an Inceptor dies. Would be the normal one, whichever one he is, it's that one.
And finally the Bolt Gun gets a hit, wounds on a 5. It does.
2+ armour save. Maybe.
More shooting. The Blight Hauler will shoot at the remaining aggressor.
Yep.
So we'll start with its multi-melter. It doesn't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting. It hits. It wounds on a 3. Yep.
No armour save.
No armour save. Are we within 12?
D6 damage.
Just outside of 12, so I don't get 2 dice, but 4 is enough.
Soldier goes down.
And then all its other shooting
Yep.
is wasted because he's dead, but that's fine. Finally, we've got the Tainted Cohort, and they will shoot at the Intercessor squad.
This one.
This one, the one in the middle.
Yep.
So we've got 8 shots from the Combi Bolters, hitting on 3s, 7 hits, wounding on 4s. Finally they actually rolled something to wound. So 4 wounds, you've got 2+ saving cover.
2+ armour saves. Failed 1, so Intercessor takes a wound. Put it on this guy down here.
That's all of my shooting. In the charge phase, we'll start. Right, so Lord Felthius is going to charge those Intercessors over there.
Okay, they'll overwatch with their bolt rifles. 6 shots hitting on 6s. There's 1 hit. Wounded on a 5. Oh, wounded.
He's not in cover, so 3+. No.
Oh.
Disgustingly resilient. Also no.
Wow, how embarrassing.
And then his charge distance, he needs a 9, obviously. That's an 8. Ooh, nearly. Not quite. Now we'll do the Poxwalkers. They're going to charge that Inceptor.
Ooh. So 6 shots from the Assault Bolters. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. Didn't wound.
They're charged. I think they need a 7 or an 8. I'll check in a minute. A 10 is definitely enough.
Easily enough.
So they'll come in like that.
12 attacks hitting on 5s.
A hit. Yep, no damage.
And he gets to fight back. 3 attacks hitting on 3s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. Made 1, so a Poxwalker goes down. And that'll be it for Death Guard turn 1. Fairly successful all round, I think.
Yeah. So we're on to Space Marines turn 2. It's going to be quite challenging to get rid of 5 wounds Terminator, and then 6 wounds of Terminator, and then 10 wounds of vehicle with.
I think it's only 8. Actually.
Oh, it's only 8 wounds. Oh, that makes it so much easier with what I've got left. But we're going to start with my orbital strike. We're going to aim it at them. Yeah, we'll aim at that squad.
Okay.
So on a 4+, something happens. Oh, it happens. They take D3 mortal wounds. 2.
And they get disgustingly resilient against it, which is out.
Yay! It did something.
Yeah, we'll keep the champion. I mean, the Blight Launcher is probably actually more useful in this scenario, but...
And then the Inceptor is going to just fly out of combat. So we'll just move up behind the squad of Plague Marines. The captain is going to advance. 1. Right, I think that's... So he's on top of the pipe. I'll put him on the other side, but he's on the pipe. I guess Calcius will try and hold down the fort. So the Intercessors are going to try and hold my deployment zone. We're just going to stand in a line at the back of the board just so we don't get charged. And then it's on to the shooting phase. The Inceptor will fire his assault bolters at those Plague Marines. 6 shots hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1 wound.
4+ safe, no cover from this angle. Made it.
Yep. And then the Intercessors, I think they can... well, actually, I'll start with this squad, actually. They can see the Plague Champion over there. So they're going to shoot at him. They've got 3 shots, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. No wounds. And this squad can't see him, but they can see them. So we're going to shoot at them. They're not in rapid fire range, so 3 shots hitting on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5, rolling 1s, didn't wound. No charges. On to Death Guard turn 2.
Right, well, my movement. Those Plague Marines have stayed where they are. The Poxwalkers have just made sure they're all in cover. They can try and hold this objective zone. Blight Hauler's moved over here. The captain is now, he's on the pipe, obviously.
He is on the pipe, so
but he's the closest unit to the Blight Hauler now, so he can shoot it. These Poxwalkers have stayed roughly where they were. This Plague Champion has moved into the area cover. The Terminators have climbed over the pipe very slowly. And Lord Felthius has moved up his 4 inches, so he's not really any closer than he was last turn, but never mind.
So yeah, moving over onto the shooting phase.
We'll start with the Blight Hauler, shoot the Captain.
Okay.
All its guns. So we'll start with the Multi-Melter, hits on 4. Nope.
Phew.
And the Missile also hits on 4. Nope.
Oh, Charm Life.
And the Bile Spurt, 3 shots, also hitting on 4s. Well, that hits, and it's Strength 6, I think.
Yeah,
so it's
wounding on 3s.
1 wound, and it's -1.
4+ invulnerable save. Saved.
Okay.
So he's fine.
Next, we will do these Plague Marines. They will shoot this Inceptor.
Yep.
We'll do the Blight Launcher. Hit once. Wounds on a 3. Nope. The Plasma Gun, not supercharging. Hits twice. Wounds on 3s. 2 wounds. 6+.
6+ armor saves. Oh, I made one. He's still alive.
And actually, I should have said the bolt gun was going to throw a grenade, but I didn't. So it'll just be the.
You can do it if you want.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the bolt gun will throw a crack grenade because that's what I should have done. They missed. Doesn't matter. And then we've got these Terminators. They'll shoot the Intercessors that they wounded last time.
Yep.
The Plague Spear is still out of range, obviously. So they got 8 shots hitting on 3s. That's not so good as last round. All the 2s. So 2 hits, wounding on 1 wound.
2+. Made it.
And we mustn't forget the Lone Champion. He'll shoot his Plasma Gun not supercharged at the same Intercessors.
Yep.
2 shots hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Yep, you're in cover.
5+. Oh, now what time to roll 2 6s?
Okay. Oh, shooting not nearly so successful.
Yeah.
1 wound this turn. So
yes.
In the charge phase, Lord Felthius will charge the front unit of Intercessors, which are slightly closer.
So Overwatch with their bolt rifles. We're definitely all within 15. 6 shots hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Wounding on 5, rolling 1s. No wounds.
His charge distance probably roughly the same as it was last time. All 10.
That's definitely going to be in.
Yeah, 10's enough. Well, the Tainted Cohort might as well have a go. They're going to need a 10, maybe a 9. Yeah, it'd be a 9 because
they can move. They can move through that room without penalty. So
yeah, so they might as well try. No. The Plague Marines will shoot. Charge the Inceptor.
Okay, he'll Overwatch with his Assault Bolters. So he's got 6 shots hitting on 6s. Didn't get any hits.
And then they're in, but yeah. 10 inches.
10 inches. So on to the fight phase, where we're going to start.
We'll start with Felthius. He'll pile in to bring these Intercessors into melee as well.
Yep.
But obviously we have to hit the Intercessors we charge, so we've got 4 attacks hitting on 2s. 4 hits but no deaths with False Emperor, winning on 3s. They've all wounded.
6+ armor saves. Made 1. So D3 damage.
Well, the first one kills the wounded guy.
So man goes down. And then the first.
Second hit does 2 damage.
Another man goes down.
And the third hit does 3 damage.
And Sarge goes down. So that's that squad.
Yeah, and then I'll consolidate just kind of into them, just get a bit further into your deployment zone, staying away from Calcius again.
Yep.
Then the Plague Marines, Power Fists,
Okay.
hitting on 4s, nope. And the 2 knives, hitting on 3s, 2 hits and Death of the False Emperor, which gains the 3rd hit, wounding on 5s, 1 wound.
3+ armor save. Made it.
Okay.
So the Intercessors will fight back against Felthius. They've got 7 attacks, hitting on 3s. Well, they all hit, so they're mad. Wounding on 5s, come on, big roll, punch him to death.
Whoa.
Oh, 6 wounds!
Well, he gets 2+ against this, which he's made all of anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
I mean, I wasn't expecting to kill him.
No, but even so.
And the Inceptor Sergeant can fight back. He's got 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, they all hit. Wounding on 5s. Yeah, so no wounds. So that's the end of Death Guard turn 2. 6 Space Marines remaining as we head into turn 3. So in my movement, Calcis and the Calcis has just moved along, and then the Intercessors have fallen back. The Captain has moved 5 inches down the pipe, so he's still on the pipe, and the Inceptor has moved up over there into William's deployment zone. So it's still all to play for. It's still 2 turns left as we head into the shooting phase. The Intercessors, one will throw a crack grenade at Felthius, and the other 2 will fire their bolt rifles. So I'll do the bolt rifles first because I've got dice in my hand. Hitting on 4s, 3 hits. Wounding on 5s, rolling 1s. Rolling the 1, no wounds. And a crack grenade hitting on a 4 hits. Wounding on 3, rolling 1s. Wounded.
This whole area's area.
Yeah, so he's technically in cover because he's in the area terrain. So it's a 2 plus.
Yes.
And Calcius will also throw a crack grenade. Hitting on 3, he hit. Wounding on 3. Doesn't wound on the 2. Captain will fire his, was it Bolt Storm Gauntlet? Yeah. At the Plague Marines, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one bolt gun is in the open. So 3 shots hitting on 2s, rolling 1s. Yeah, they will hit. Wounding on 5s. Oh, 2 wounds.
No cover, so 3 plus. Fail 1. And Disgusting Resilient, no.
And the Inceptor Sergeant at the back is going to fire at the Poxwalkers. So 6 shots hitting on 3s. 4 hits, average. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds.
Resilient, nope.
What? 3 Poxwalkers go down. And then in the charge phase, the captain's going to declare a charge on the Blight Hauler because we're going to go down in a blaze of glory.
Okay, so the Melter overwatching misses a crack missile. Oh, it hits.
Hit.
Wounds on a 3. Yes, but you get your invulnerable
4
save.
plus invulnerable save. Yes.
And the Wild Spurt, 2 shots. Neither hit. And then
Charge
probably
distance.
don't roll double 1. Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, 7 inches is enough to get down the pipe and into contact. Yeah, he's the only one who can fight, so we have 5 attacks.
Yes, but -1 to hit.
Yes, because it's stinky. It's going to be hitting on 4s because I'm going to use the Bolt Storm Gauntlet Power Fist. So hitting on 4s, 3 rolling 1s. 3 hits, strength 8, so it's wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 wounds.
I have a 5 plus invulnerable save against this. I made 2 of them, so
And with D3 damage, it does 1.
which goes through.
So it's down to 7 wounds. And it gets to fight back. So it has 3 attacks hitting on 4s.
Yep, they all missed.
So that's the end of Space Marines turn 3. On to Death Guard turn 3.
Well, the easy moves. Lord Felsis will go there. Tainted Cohort. Well, actually, they just need to stand in the middle of the road, really, so they'll do that. This Plague Marine champion will just keep himself in that objective area. Tag team in out here, so the Plague Marine... Well, the Poxwalkers, they're going to come over here and... Oh, hang on, no, I need to advance with them, actually, because otherwise they're not technically get into that zone. Right. So those Poxwalkers will advance for... So they'll come over here.
They're definitely all in there.
And then the Plague Marines will move back in here and stop you. These Poxwalkers will stay where they are.
Yep.
And then the Blight Hauler, I guess it will fall back. Yeah, the Blight Hauler will fall back just to here.
Okay.
So on to my shooting.
Yep.
Well, we'll start with this Plague Champion over here.
Yep.
No, we're going to start with the Tainted Cohort, sorry.
Okay.
They are, by accident, actually within 2 inches of the ammo crate. So they're going to shoot the Intercessors. So 8 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Oh, they all hit. Wounding on 4s. Not terrible for once. So 4 wounds.
4 wounds. 4 2 plus saves.
Actually.
Oh, was it cocked? I'll re-roll it then.
Oh no.
So an Intercessor goes down. And then the Plague, Spewer, Sprayer, Spitter, Belcher, whatever it is.
D6 automatic hits, 3, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s, 2 wounds, you're in cover, so 3 plus.
3 plus. Made both.
The Blight Hauler fell back. The Plague Marines here. No, we'll start with this champion. This champion here will shoot a long shot at this. He's just out of 18, so
Single shot.
1 single shot with his plasma gun, hitting on a 3. Yep.
Not overcharging.
No, not overcharging. No need. Wounding on a 3. Yeah, it does. So, you're in cover.
5 plus because we're in cover. No. So the Inceptor Sergeant goes down.
And then that leaves these Plague Marines free to shoot the captain, I
Yep.
suppose. Blight Launcher gets 2 hits. They wound on 3s. 1 wound. It's minus 4 plus, basically. Because of invulnerable
Yeah,
save.
4 plus invulnerable save. Didn't make it.
Do 3 damage. 3.
So Captain goes down to 3 wounds.
Plasma gun. Frankly, I'm going to supercharge it because it doesn't matter that much at this point. Well, there you go. Boom.
And that's the captain. That's the same champion that blew himself up the last time.
It is
way
indeed.
back on the cargo deck.
Yeah, he always does that. And then the bolt gun.
Oh yeah.
All that matters. Oh, he blew himself up as well. 1 hit. Oh, we wounded though.
2 plus cover save.
Yeah, fine. That's it for my shooting. Felties will charge both units.
Okay. The Intercessors will overwatch with their bolt. One will overwatch with a crack grenade. Oh, it hit. Wounding on a 3, rolling 1s. He wounded.
2+ because I'm in cover in this area.
Oh, D3 damage. 2.
Oh dear, Felthius down to 3.
And then the bolt rifle. Nothing. And Calcius will overwatch with a crack grenade being missed.
Charge distance only 4, but I'll go there.
Calcius will heroically intervene.
Yay.
But Felthius gets to fight first.
Yes. He'll put all his attacks on Calcius, I suppose. So hitting on that one misses, but we've got Death of the False Emperor, which gains me an extra hit. So 4 hits, winning on 3s. Rerolling 1s. So 3 wounds on Calcius.
3, 6+ armor saves. Well, I made 1.
Well, so 2d3 damage. 4, so he's okay. He's still alive.
Down to 1 wound. Calcius has 4 attacks. Hitting on 2s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s, rolling 1s. Well, that was a 6.
That was a 6.
So 1 wound.
4+ invulnerable. Yeah, made it.
And then the intercessors have 5 attacks between them. Hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. Rerolling 1s. No wounds. It's the end of Death Guard turn 3 on to Space Marines turn 4. So these traps are going to fall back. So within 2 inches of the ammo box. Calcius with 1 wound. I don't want to get zapped by your mortal wound aura. And we're going to get melter gunned in the face. Captain's going to move so he's within an inch away. So in the shooting phase, Intercessor will throw a crack grenade, and the other one will fire his bolt rifle at Felthius. So crack grenade hitting on a 4, missed. 1 hit from a bolt rifle, winning on 5, wounded.
2+ because I'm in cover. No, yes.
And Calcius will throw a crack grenade, and he's not within 2 inches of the ammo box, so he missed. This guy will fire his pistol at the 3 Fox Augurs. 3 shots, hitting on 2s. It all hits, wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
1 wound.
I get 6+ cover save for this because it's behind a pipe. No.
Oh,
and then disgusting resilient. Well, with me.
Anyway. And in the charge phase, Captain will charge the thingamajig.
So the multi-melter misses, crack missile, hits again, somehow, wounding on a 3. Yes.
4+ invulnerable save. Made it.
Bile spurt, 3 shots. None of them hit.
Charge distance.
2. 1, he's in.
Bare minimum. So I'm going to use the Bolt Storm Gauntlet. 5 attacks, hitting on 4s.
Rerolling 1s.
Rerolling 1s, thankfully. 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound.
5+ invulnerable save, made it.
So it gets to fight back.
Oh yeah, it does. 3 attacks hitting on 4s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Yes. -2.
Yeah. So 4+ invulnerable save, made 1.
Down to 2.
So that's the end of Space Marines turn 4, on to Death Guard turn 4.
Well, I've won at this point. Well, actually, I guess technically I haven't got these points here, so Feltis will do that, and then the Tainted Cohort will actually move into your deployment zone a bit. Oh, I'm going to fall back with the Blight Hauler. Come into the road.
Take that objective.
Yeah. Pox will stay there, Plague Marines will just move into cover.
Yep.
So in the shooting phase, these 2 Plague Marines will shoot your captain. Sorry, just my movement, so I'm actually within crack grenade range.
Yeah.
So we'll do a crack grenade and blight launcher. We'll do the crack grenade first. It missed. Blight launcher. Got 2 hits, winning on 3s. Yep. So
4+ invulnerable. Made 1.
And 2 damage.
Yeah. Captain goes down.
There. This fell back.
Yep.
Champion here will not supercharge. He'll shoot the intercessors.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit. He wounds on a...
You got 2 shots from there.
Oh yeah. Okay. So 1 hit, 2 hits. Winning on 3s. 1 wound, so you're in cover.
5+ armor save. Nope. That guy takes a wound. And then, Tainted Cohort?
Yeah, all the Tainted Cohort at them as well. So, Combi Bolters, re-rolling 1s.
Yep.
Nope, still a 1. 5 hits. Running on 4s. 3.
2+ armor saves, because we are in the area terrain. He goes down, and Sarge takes a wound.
And the Plague Spear gets 4 automatic hits, which all wound.
3+ armor saves. No. It's failed 3. Sarge dies 1.5 times.
And in the charge phase, Felsius would charge Calcius.
Overwatch with a crack grenade. Missed.
Yeah, he's in. And for good measure, the Tainted Cohort going as well. Yeah, they're in. We'll do Felsius first. Get through 1 wound. He's got
Death to False Emperor.
5 hits.
5 hits.
Out of 4. And And okay, only 2 wounds.
Only 2 wounds, 2 6+ armor saves.
Yeah, no. Well,
He's dead. Space Marines completely wiped out.
Death Guard all of the zones.
And Death Guard control every zone on the map. Total victory for the Death Guard. So we'll recap that for you now. So that was the mission for issue 31 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. How did you think that went?
Well, obviously, fairly well. But let's start off by talking about the massive elephant in the room, as it were, which is that this scenario is not at all balanced, and we can prove it. Often we say that scenarios aren't balanced. That's just our feeling. But in this case, we actually calculated the points of both sides, and the Death Guard have 101 more points worth of models than the Space Marines do in this one.
Yeah, so that's 492 points for the Space Marines and 593 for the Death Guard. And these are based on chapter approved 2018.
Yeah, and I think this magazine would have been released after that book was as well, so I think that should be...
That is enough points to fit the 3 Hellblasters in, and I think this scenario might have been designed with the intention, because that would make sense, because it says at the beginning you have 7 Death Guard units and 6 Space Marine units. So the Space Marines always get the +1 to roll. I mean, they are, in the narrative, attacking, so it sort of makes sense, but... the extra unit would actually mean choosing to deploy first would actually be a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's clearly a mistake of some sort. Either they meant both sides to have 7 units, or they just wrote that and then changed it. Or so, who knows? I mean, it's enough points for some Hellblasters, and if you'd had the Hellblasters, that could have been a rather different game. You would have had much more firepower.
We have played missions. Other missions have been points imbalanced and haven't been quite this bad. I mean, actually, the one a few weeks ago with the introduction of the Gravis Captain, I think the Death Guard had about 70 more points. That obviously went a lot better. But I think with that one, it was fine for me just sit in the corner and shoot at you. And I did roll very well, actually, in that mission.
Yeah, absolutely. In that mission, you rolled well, but you were also able to play to the various strengths of your units by keeping your 2 characters with their auras, with everyone in range, and really making the most. Whereas this scenario forced you to come out and split up, really.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, it might have been better to try and hold the ground, but the aggressors aren't really that sort of unit.
No, their range is too short.
I kind of want them out there. And I mean, you'd basically just be able to flood the board then. And I could try and counterattack, but your shooting will whittle me down eventually. I mean, I could probably whittle you down, but the intercessors and the interceptors.
Yeah, because you have, 13 models, and I have 22?
Yeah, 22 in total, I think.
In this one, and obviously one of those is a Blight Hauler, which is fast and resilient, and Terminators and Felthius.
No, I think it's actually 23 models.
Yeah, sorry, 23.
23 models against 13.
It's easy to make a plan when your army is actually objectively more powerful than your opponent's. Now, I should point out that we didn't know the exact points difference before we began the game, so I wasn't going into it thinking, I have 100 more points, this is going to be very straightforward. But I think probably after my first turn of shooting, it became apparent.
Well, I mean, that's like killing the aggressors is 25% casualties. Because, I mean, points values, and it is easy to say, this army has much more points than the others, but that doesn't always mean everything.
No, points values is only a starting point, but 100 points out of whatever it was, 500 odd, is a fairly big discrepancy.
But then it is important to understand that I think even like going first can give you a big advantage even if you have fewer points. Or it can lead to total wipeouts. Like the other one was the assassination of Lord Felthius. Right, I think I had quite a big points advantage in that as well. And I got to go first, and I was started on top of you.
Yeah.
It was expected, considering I won all the build-up games as well.
Yeah. So there's more to the balance than just that.
Sheer points.
But in this one, I guess we effectively started off from an even footing. And even though I let you go first, it still didn't actually make any difference.
I didn't kill anyone.
You didn't do anything in your first turn, no.
And I think we measured and we could have got the aggressors into range. That might have been a better move.
Maybe you would have been able to get at least 2 lots of... No, I think all of them would have been able to flame some Plague Marines. So yeah, that might have actually...
And you would have had 2+ arm saves. And it might have been better to move the second... I did consider moving the second squad of intercessors, trying to advance them into the corner where William ended up deploying the Terminators, but that would have left my deployment zone open.
True, yeah, you would have had to... I suppose you could have spread out the other intercessor squad a bit. Blocked off.
Might have been able to try and spread out early on, but then I think I would have just been spread out and you could have picked me off, I think. Well, and my special power...
Oh, yes.
Territory bonus actually did something.
It did. So the Death Guard bonus we'll get to shortly, but...
well, the Death Guard bonus is that once per game at the start of the fight phase, you can choose a unit, and every unit model in that unit gains an extra attack for the fight phase.
Automatically.
And that always happens.
Yeah, whereas the Space Marine one is 50% chance it just doesn't happen.
It's a 50% chance of actually happening, and then the D3 mortal wounds, and then you've still got Disgustingly Resilient, which might block some of those anyway. I mean, you did something, you killed 2 Plague Marines, probably above average.
Yeah, on average, if you did that many times, it would do 2/3 of a wound per use.
Yeah.
Taking into account disgusting and resilient. Yeah, so balance issues aside, I mean, they're still coming up with more variations on how to do a mission.
It is a pretty good, interesting scenario.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to play it with.
Yeah, even just adding some Hellblasters and playing it again might be an interesting thing. Perhaps we'll do that sort of thing at some point in the future.
So, I don't think there's too much more to say about this mission, so if you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you've been playing these missions as well. Tell us how you got on. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.